mathematics department. And let me introduce myself first, since I'm kind of the moderator here. So my name is George Zubelli. I am the chair of the mathematics department, and my background is in applied mathematics with applications to finance and biology. I joined Khalifa with the goal of really making the department grow, both in the sense of growing size and in effectiveness. And it's really a pleasure to have students interested in this. So let me briefly introduce the faculty that we have here. So we have Samira Stitu on lecture in our department and has been working with us for many years, has a lot of experience in the undergraduate education. We have Dr. Aurazi Abderrahba, who is assistant professor in our department, and he has also been with Khalifa for a number of years. We have Dr. Adriana Gabor, who is assistant professor in our department and who specializes in optimization, operational research, and applied mathematics. We have Dr. Mohamed Soufiane Jouini, associate professor in our department, who has also a long experience in the department. And I'd like to open now the floor and welcome the students who are joining us if they have any questions. Thank you all for being here. Well, if there
I have, well, I think the couple questions that students usually ask when we did the open day before, major day before, is again the same question I asked before. Do we have a master's program, a PhD program, and in what specialty? The other question that is usually asked is how do math degree gonna help students in the workplace? These are the questions I think the student ask the most.
Yeah. So the answer to the question, I'm going to offer my quick answer and then invite the colleagues to elaborate if possible. So yes, we do have a PhD program that has just started, and it's on the course of being accredited, and it should be fully accredited by the fall of 2021. We also have the plan for a master's degree that is hopefully going to be running by the spring of 2022 or the fall of 2022. And so those are the programs of graduate education. Then the other question, Samira, I would like to perhaps ask you to remind me what was the other question.
I just the students always ask why should we join the math department or apply for the math degree. How is it gonna help us in the workplace? What kind of job? And,
Yeah. So my standard response to that is that mathematics is transversal to all the scientific and technical disciplines, from engineering all the way to physics, chemistry, and having a degree, an undergraduate degree in mathematics is something that empowers the student to pursue either academic careers or industry careers very easily. Excuse me. Sorry. So I would say that the employability of a student coming out of, for example, a math major in a bank, in the financial markets, in the pharmaceutical markets is tremendous, okay? And it usually requires very little for the student to be up and running in a good position in those different non-academic jobs. If any one of the colleagues would like to add anything, please feel free.
I think the mathematics students are also much wanted in consultancy company and any other company that works with data for data analytics, especially because they develop the problem solving skills. So usually companies are confident that if you can solve tough mathematical problems, you can take this skill to solve a practical problem. So they like to have math graduates, I would say. At least this was my experience in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, to add that, I was interviewing students who just graduated this year, and besides the students who are going to the teaching, because there is a program also for teaching, which is sponsored by the Ministry of Education here, which pays for the scholarship for the students. There were students who got very good jobs at in the financial markets, and one student in particular was very happy. She was working for IBM in Dubai. So this is one of many examples of students getting jobs right away in important industries. Okay.
And also, I would say for the ones interested in doing a master later on, many technical master accept students with mathematical background. So even many business school accept, you can go for a master in finance, in mathematical school, or in a business school. Yeah, data analytics master, they all accept math background.
Right, yes.
What is most interesting facts about math major?
Okay, very good. I would say the constant renewal and the constant need to face your difficulties in solving problems. So every day as a math major, as a math practitioner, let's say, you are faced with problems that are extremely challenging, and you develop tremendously good problem-solving skills, be it from the numerics, be it from the programming, be it from the modeling of the problems. So I think that's the most fascinating part of being a math major, is the ability of formulating precisely the problems and having tools at hand to tackle those problems. Yes, where can they take the internships? That's a very good question. Right now, we have students taking the internship in the besides the education, of course, sector, which many of them are taking because they have the Ministry of Education scholarships, they can take the internships at different industries, especially consulting industry. Also, ADIA has is a possibility. So we have a number of possibilities for that here in Abu Dhabi and Dubai.
Yeah,
and
if I may, about
please.
past experiences. So we have Two students who worked with IBM in the optimization department, and we have a student who worked with the Dubai police in the statistics department for her internship. So I think these are, regarding that we have not graduated too many students so far, this is very promising.
There's a question concerning minors available for math majors. I must confess that I don't have an answer offhand. I think the whole idea of minors is relatively new at Khalifa, so I'll have to take that as if any of the colleagues can help me with that. But as I said, I think since the idea of minors is new, I doubt that we have many minors available right now.
But maybe we could talk about the minors we can offer to the others.
Yes, I think that's a better way of considering the question, because ultimately the offering of minors is not something that's up to us to decide. But yet, offering of minors, let's say in engineering, is not up to us. But what I mean is that, as Adriana said, the possibility of offering mathematics minor is something that is going to happen for sure, and it should be approved very soon. So we expect that with very little effort, perhaps two courses for many cases, students in aero, in civil, in computer engineering, in industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, biomed, electrical, physics, all these students should be able, with minor effort, to get the minor in mathematics. So if anyone would like to add anything, please feel free. So let me perhaps take the discussion among ourselves, and I'll ask some of my colleagues now, what kind of questions did they get from students concerning their research projects? I mean, how did they get approached concerning advising the senior research project? How did they, let's say, recruit students for senior research projects? And I'd like to start with Adriana, since she has actually advised several senior research projects, but then I'll move on to the other colleagues.
So in my case, I think it was a little bit probably different. Students were interested in applications. And I guess they got the idea because I was teaching statistics courses that I like applications. So they approached me telling that they enjoyed a lot learning the theory during the mathematical studies, but now they would like to apply it on some real life problems. So then together with the student, I can discuss what are his goals, in which industry he would like to work after, whether he wants to go for a master or like this. So I have, for example, some students who, after our math study, they plan to do master in industrial engineering, for example. So for them, I chose more problems that would help them in the future master. I have a student who plans to do a master in econometrics. So we chose a problem that it's more related to economics for her, so it can help her in her CV further. So in the SRP, the research project, so my goal is to introduce the students to a research area, and they program a lot, so they enhance their programming skills, and yeah, they discover some new things by themselves.
Okay.
I think it's an enjoyable project, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Adriana. Arazi, would you like to say a few words? You recently advised one student.
Okay, let me start the procedure from the very beginning. If the students are interested in certain subject, the faculty, they have to offer certain projects for them. Then they will see something they like. For example, if they are interested in applied mathematics, or if they are interested in statistics or applied statistics, or even in pure mathematics, they will pick the advisor for them. After that, they have to fill the form, and they have to meet this professor and decide what they have to do in 2 courses, basically 3 credit hours plus 3 credit hours, 2 courses. And they have to prepare a presentation at the end, and a good PD report about what they did. And they have to present that work in front of the other faculty and other students in the math department at the end. And the advisor will decide the grade for the student. It is like any other course. It can be A, it can be C, it can be B, whatever. So if the student is hard worker and he did all his job and the output was good enough to get A, and I think the advisor will give him A. So it's like the other courses, and it is very important course. And I think from my experience, I did a project about magic number pi, which is a rational number. And my student did a very good job. She used her knowledge in number 1 in English to write a report, number 2 in pure mathematics to prove certain facts about this number, and she used her knowledge in programming to do a very good approximation, and she did a very nice illustration and a very nice project about this number. So the scenery project is reflecting our output from our students, and it was very amazing experience for me and for my students.
Okay, thank you, Razi. Mohammed, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, so from my side, I got the opportunity to have a student. Now he's in the second component. It was a really very good experience, and actually I attracted the students by applications, so it was the other way around. And then we went more deep in math, especially so we started with the application in image processing, and we end up doing some machine learning stuff. So the students enjoyed it a lot, and they found it very, very, when it's applied, for some students, they like that, and it's attractive, and they learn a lot, especially they improve their skills in programming. So so when the student is motivated, I think it can be really a good experience. So I will go for most probably for more students. And what else? Well, the students can improve also their skills in writing manuscripts. And by the way, students I'm working with most probably will try to publish in a conference. So that will be a good experience for him. So I think it's an important course in our department, which starts to, give the student kind of taste of what math can really do in real life. So this is what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you so much, Arazi and Adriana. I'd like to direct the next question that came through the chat to Samira. So, Samira, from your perspective, teaching the earlier classes to a very broad group of students, the question that came was, what sort of skills does a student have to have in order to succeed in mathematics? So would you care to say a few words about that, please?
Yeah, sure. Teaching the first courses, like Calc 1 and Calc 2, the major problem we encountered is the the basic algebra skills, right? So the students really need to have those skills ready, because that's the basic fundamental skills that they have to have, right? And of course, problem solving skills, and that we develop as we go as well. But in my view, the algebra problem is a must. Much, the skills, how to manipulate numbers, and all this.
And also the logic skills, I would say.
Logic as well, but logic mostly they need it for the proofs and stuff, which we don't really need many proofs at the lower level classes.
I see. Yeah,
but it's a plus. It's a definite plus. Like in my view, that 100 course that we have, it's a really nice one. The logic one, it's really nice one. I would would love to have students take that also at the beginning.
Yeah.
Before coming to Calc 1 and Calc 2, even though we don't do many proof, but it's a plus.
Yeah. If I may add, also in my experience with students, I think that usually students who have good language skills also tend to be good in math, and there is a correlation. Yes. I think that has been studied. So in the case of since our courses are all taught in English, so I would add that it's fundamental to have good English language skills, and usually that comes as part of the development of the logic and the, let's say, basic algebraic manipulation skills. So all those things kind of grow up together.
Well, that's why we have the foundation program that really helps in that for the English, it really helps a lot for the student who go through that program before coming to us, instead of coming straight from high school.
Yes, perfect. Yes, thank you.
If I may add one that I discovered,
yes,
discipline, because
yes.
Honestly, so my students are all very bright, but some don't work at a constant pace. I think that mathematics you can't learn in the last evening before an exam. You have to be disciplined and practice and, try to understand the fundamental ideas. You can't do that.
Good study habits. Good study habits.
Study habits are really essential for math. Probably for others as well, but math particular.
Yes,
True.
Yes. True. Thank you. Yeah, very well reminded. Yes, there was another question. We are kind of having to wrap up, but I have another question that came in the chat, and the question was, what programming language do they learn in mathematics? Well, let me venture to say that this is a question that has been evolving through time. Back when I was a student, the typical language was Fortran, which is now something only dinosaurs like me can handle. But MATLAB is one of our standards here. Then R, and most recently Python. Perhaps since Adriana and Mohamed Soufiani have been teaching the upper division classes related to programming, you might care to say a few words about that. So Adriana, perhaps.
Yes, Mohamed, you can start.
For my side, usually I like to introduce MATLAB to students. So usually they take it in hand quite easily. It's quite easy to use, and it can be a first step to start to use other languages like Python or C. So usually I start with MATLAB from my side.
I usually use Python for the SRPs. And because my SRPs are in optimization, usually students learn to use some specialized optimization software. In our, most of the cases, Gurobi for integer optimization. So, but I have the experience that with MATLAB, having a background in MATLAB, our students can catch up with other softwares very quickly.
Razi, would you like to say something, Razi?
No, actually no. But I think I want to emphasize that those courses, the students, our students, they are not learning only how to use MATLAB, but they are writing codes. This is the most important part. They are learning how to write algorithms. I think is that correct?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And that's again the differential here of our way of taking this. Okay. So perhaps we might want to start wrapping up. I don't know if we are over time, unless there is a student or if there is any further question from Marian. I'd like to perhaps wrap up now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tom, for your time today. Maybe we can end up with some advices for the students who would like to join math department.
Yes, okay. Let's get started with Samira. Samira, what do you think?
They need to be ready to work hard, you know, to be disciplined and to just take this program seriously. That's basically it. And of course, they will have fun as well, but mainly to be ready to work hard. They need
Razi, would you like to share?
Actually, I'm advising my students. We are saying we are teaching and learning mathematics by doing mathematics. So do mathematics every day.
Adriana?
Yeah, I think I agree with my colleagues.
Okay, Mohammed?
Yeah, so yeah, I would suggest to be open mind and work on a rigorous way, so on a very regular way also. So this is the, I mean, the key to the success for the studies in math.
Yeah. I'd like to close by saying that although they have to be disciplined, they have to work hard, they have to face challenges and face their own difficulties or our own difficulties, the payoff that you get by studying math is very high. And perhaps we can end with this note.
And to enjoy it as well.
Enjoy it, of course, yes. Yeah, that's part of the payoff of, you know, the intellectual reward of mastering something that's extremely challenging. I like to compare it with music. You have to sometimes struggle years with the basic scales and doing exercise in a piano in order to play a symphony or playing a symphonic work. But when you do it, it's really a tremendous achievement.
I compare it to swimming because you can't just read the practice. You have to practice. Otherwise, you can't do it.
Right. Okay.
I think we reached to an end with this session. Thank you so much for your valuable time and valuable advices. I'm sure students will be really appreciating your experience and your thoughts and your answering all these questions for them. And I wish everyone all the best. Thank you so
very much, Mariam, for
Thank you.
organizing this. Take care. Bye-bye. Greetings to everyone. Thank you so much for the participation.
You're welcome.
Welcome. Enjoy. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.